You found your next dream home, but you still have a home to sell. What's your next step? What are you going to do? How are you going to be able to get your next home? These are all common questions that are probably running through your head right now, and let us go ahead and answer those in today's episode. We'll be taking a look at strategy 4. This is the fourth part of a 4-part series that we've done on this topic about how to buy a home contingent upon selling yours. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. For reference, I upload 6 days a week, so be sure to tap the bell icon and YouTube will notify you of the next one. Okay team, let's take a closer look at this. There's 5 main points you want to consider whenever you have found your next dream home and you're ready to get your house on the market. This means that your house is not currently on the market, but you have found the home that you want to write an offer on. What do? Well, it's time to get into action, and the next 5 steps are what you're going to want to institute right now, today, and get ready to go so you don't miss out on your next dream house. The first one is, of course, get your home on the market. It goes without saying that if you're going to have to buy a home contingent upon selling one and you already found that next dream home, then it's time is of the essence and it's time to get your home on the market. That's not to say that you can't go ahead and buy your new home whenever you haven't listed your home. I personally did it whenever I was selling a home to buy one as well, and I've helped a lot of other clients do it as well. So there's a few different tips that we're going to go over in points 2 through 5 that are going to give you the ways to write an offer that will be appealing to the seller that you're writing the offer on for your dream home. So let's go ahead and get into that. Number 2 is to be ready. You got to be ready to go on the market. You got to be ready, and you got to have your loan pre-approval ready to go, and you got to be serious, and you got to be committed. You got to have all your ducks in a row, and you should have already had your planned out whether you're going to be negotiating for a leaseback, or if that doesn't work out, then you have a contingency option B to make sure you have a place to go whenever your home does sell. So given that you're writing the offer on the home that your next dream home, and you haven't yet put your home on the market, it just depends on the dates. It depends on how this is going to go down, how fast your home's going to sell, whether you're going to need a leaseback, or what the situation is going to be. It's imperative that we get this right and have very clear and concise communication with you and your trusted real estate advisors to make sure this goes down correctly. So number 3 is writing a winning offer. So when you look at writing a winning offer when this is your circumstance, what do? Well, first of all, you need to be with your trusted real estate advisor, be ready to go on the market with your current home. But when you submit that offer, what you want to do is you want to tell them, hey, if you accept my offer, I'm going to put my house on the market in the next 3 to 5 days, whatever the case may be, right? I'm going to list my home for X number of dollars, have your trusted real estate advisor provide them with a comparative market analysis on your property showing that you're listing at market value or slightly under the market value, and with the anticipated average days on market. All of that information is information that your trusted real estate advisor is easily going to be able to come up with. They should have already discussed that with you whenever you went ahead and decided to list your home with them. So just to kind of recap that again, you want to make sure that you write it into your offer and you submit with your offer to the listing agent and to the seller how soon you plan on going on the market. That's number 1. Your loan pre-approval letter, and make your lender's contact information available to them so they can verify the strength of your offer. The idea here is to provide peace of mind to the seller that you're writing the offer on and make sure that they want to do business with you and accept your offer. The third one is to provide a comparative market analysis with your offer that shows that you're listing your home at fair market value or slightly under. And you might be saying, Andrew, why do I have to list my home for slightly under? Here's the thing. If you're in a situation where you found your next dream home and you're very serious about getting that, depending on whether you're in a seller's market, buyer's market, or a stabilized market, you got to be ready to pivot. You got to be ready to move. In most cases, it's always a good strategy to list at fair market or slightly under. I'm not saying that as a salesperson. I'm not saying that as a trusted real estate advisor. I'm saying this as your friend, and I'm saying this because it's true. What I've seen in practice when I list homes that we list at fair market value or slightly under is that we generally get more than fair market value if your home is that desirable. A quick telltale, if you're going to be getting multiple offers on your home, is that most multiple offers that are going to go out on a home are going out on homes that are at fair market or at slightly under fair market, and it generally only takes anywhere from 2 to 5 days on market to know whether that's going to happen. If you don't have multiple offers in your possession at the end of 5 days, it's not likely your home is going to be a multiple offer property regardless of the price. It's just something to think about. It's time to be real, it's time to be honest, and it's time to be clear, right? So be clear with yourself, be honest with yourself, don't delude yourself, okay? So the next thing that you want to do when you submit that with the comparative market analysis, you want your trusted real estate advisor to give the listing agent and the seller all the means to make a great decision. They should be telling you, hey, by the way, we think that we can sell this home in 7 days, but let's not be unrealistic here. Average days on market for this community, for this type of home in this area is 30 days on market, let's say, right? Just to use an example. Make it known to them, say, hey, so what we're looking at is we got to be able to close on our home to be able to buy yours. So what we would like to do is offer you the opportunity to accept our offer, and with the understanding that we're going to need about 30 days to sell, and then we're going to need roughly 30 to 40 days depending on where you are in the country for the closing process. As soon as that's done, what we would like to do is seam up our closing date with you, which should only take 24 to 72 hours depending on your circumstance to close out on the home that you're selling and close out on the home that you're buying. Now, if they're open to that and they agree to that up front, awesome. Now, another consideration is going into point 4, move fast. You got to move fast with getting everything ready to go. Again, before you started looking at homes, before you found your next dream home, you really should have already had your home decluttered, depersonalized, prepared for professional listing photography, and getting ready to go on the market. That's why whenever you're in a sell-buy scenario, it's highly advantageous and wise of you to reach out to your trusted real estate advisor 3 to 6 months prior to executing this strategy. You want to take and review all of your options to make the best decision possible that's going to be successful for you. And the only way to do that, and the only way that you can move fast and know that you're not missing anything, is to plan it out ahead of time. So anyone that plans does what? Plans for success, right? And if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So let's make sure that you plan ahead of time, get your game plan down so that you can be successful. That brings us into point 5 of today's episode, which is negotiating a leaseback, also known as a rent back. So this is a really interesting situation. Let's say that you went ahead and wrote an offer on it and the seller accepted your offer contingent upon selling yours, which is great news. Congratulations, by the way. But let's say that the incoming buyer can close rapidly. The more rapidly they can close, the better. But you still have to work yourself through the closing process on the home that you're buying, right? So what could happen is you might want to negotiate a lease back, or it's also known as a rent back. Essentially, you become the tenant of your own property to the person that just bought it, right? And depending on the market conditions will determine on how negotiable a buyer is on this. If it's a very strong seller's market, it's a high propensity, a high likelihood that the buyer will say, okay, you know what? I'm tired of looking at homes and I'm tired of getting beat out on multiple bids. Yes, I'll give you what you want as far as your terms. Yes, I'm happy to give you your price. Yes, let's go ahead and make this happen. If that's the case, just be prepared to pay them rent for that amount. And then if you're like, hey, what is that amount, Andrew? Well, most commonly, whenever I negotiate that here in Las Vegas, Nevada, I take a look at the buyer's mortgage and then calculate a per diem rate, dividing it simply out by 30, whatever their mortgage is, that comes up with the per diem rate, and then you estimate the total time. Please keep in mind that when you're negotiating leaseback and rent backs, depending on the loan type your buyer has, they're going to need to take possession in 30 to 60 days, depending on the requirements of the loan, especially if it's an owner-occupier loan, which is more than likely going to be the case. If it's an investor, okay, they don't really care. They can just, as long as you're there and you're paying rent to them, they're not really going to care because you're a tenant for the short term while they get ready to get a tenant for the long term, right? So it's an opportunity that you have. Now, another consideration that you can do is actually ask for early occupancy in the home that you're buying. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of a 50-50 shot, but the last time I checked, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, the last time I checked, if you don't ask a question, then the answer is always no. So simply by asking the question, you stand a 50-50 shot of getting a yes. So why not go ahead and ask for early occupancy? Now, when I've done that successfully for clients, normally what we've already done is we've already made it through the home inspection process on the home that they're buying, and we've made it through the home appraisal process. After the home appraisal, that's whenever you could ask, and whenever you ask that, if you can go ahead and get into your new home early, awesome. Now, don't be surprised if the seller of that property wants you to pay them a portion of a rent, a per diem as well. It sometimes happens. I know it's kind of crazy. It's like the house that you're buying, but sometimes the seller wants you to be paying them money to get early occupancy of the property. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, but it is something to chat over with your trusted real estate advisor to try to mitigate your circumstances and the easiest way for you to make your transition from the home that you're selling to the home that you're buying. Now, here's what I'd like you to do is tell me what you're thinking about this episode in the comment section below, along with any of your savvy tips about how to buy a home contingent upon selling one, specifically unique to this episode, when you found your dream home and you still need to sell your home. Tell us how you did it in the comment section below. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information if you want to reach out to me to help you find a top agent, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, please let me know. Contact info is on the screen and down below. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know it's going to be able to help, because just like you, I'm sure you could think of just one other person that's in the exact situation this video can really help. Please share it with them. Thank you. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up the other videos, the other 3 strategies we've done about this topic. Please go ahead and click on them. Check out strategies 1 through 4, see which one is going to be best for you. Then take your turn and let me know what you're thinking about it in the comment section below. In between now and the next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching today, team, and enjoy an amazing day.